Hey everyone, it is Quicken. I am in direct sunlight today to show you that not only am I outside, but I will be participating in some nature. Well, house nature. Today I am going to be organizing my houseplants, setting them up in my house for fall, and I will be repotting them, replanting them. The majority of them are in nursery pots right now. I have a ton of pots that need to have drainage holes drilled in them, or pots that I really don't like anymore, so I want to upcycle them and make them a part of my house. So hang out with me today while we reorganize my plants, repot my plants, and then decorate my house with them. So why aren't my houseplants inside of my house? Great question. My house is actually really dark, so in the summer months, I like to bring my houseplants outside so they can get full sun. Now, it's not always the best, as some of my plants have been a little bit burnt, but for the most part, my plants enjoy a ton of sun in the summer. A lot of the plants you see here and behind my camera, which I will show you, I've had for a few years. So the plants I do have, who I practice this with, seem to enjoy it. My cactus right here, which is just a little out of frame, you might recognize from my filming setup, and you can see right now it is blooming. It has a ton of blooms right now, and it even has 2 little babies. A lot of my plants are loving the sun. This morning, though, was one of the first really cold mornings, so it is time to bring the babies inside. Other than that, I've had some plants that have died off and things like that in my home, so I have replaced them, but they haven't gone inside yet. So I'm really eager to put plants in the house, especially my bedroom. First, let's give you a little tour of all the plants I have going on. Get ready for shaky hands. Okay, so in my backyard, I have 2 areas that I have all my houseplants in, and they get to enjoy about 2 hours of sun as the sun travels across my backyard. This isn't a plunger, this is actually an aggregator. So most of them are snake plants, and that is because I have cats, and my cats do not bother my snake plants. So I have a ton of them. This right here, this cactus succulent, you can see it has these like branches, almost like if this is the main, these are like the flowers. A lot of them have grown this year, especially after being put outside. And then these are 2 clippings that I guess I propagated and are growing. You may remember this snake plant from my video where I fixed my snake plant that had root rot. And you can see it's growing little babies. Really, really cute, super healthy. There's another little baby. This lives in my bedroom, but I brought it out to my backyard during the summer while I have the air conditioner running. Kind of the same story with everything else here. This plant is from my living room. It was my friend Ryan's. And then this jade is doing so well. And jade is so easy to propagate that maybe we'll take a little sample. I've had this plant since my apartment, and it's doing really well. It had a little baby this year. Coming over here, I have bought a bunch of pothos for the planters in my master bedroom. This mom died. I think it'll be okay. It looks like that, but it'll be okay. And then I have a couple little succulent babies that are doing really well right now. They're still in their nursery pots. This died, so we'll replace that. Another snake plant that's doing really well. This ZZ, if you've been following me on YouTube for a long time, you might remember me joking that my partner took off his pants and like kind of tossed them and they hit one of my plants. This ZZ is slowly recovering from that trauma, you know, a year later. So I want to repot this because it definitely could use some new soil. I've had this plant since my apartment, and I think it should be way more grown than it is right now, so I believe it is suffering. Here are some clippings from that jade plant, and you can see they are living. And then this is another snake plant from my little, reviving my snake plant moment. He does have one little baby down there. He is so droopy. I would love to leave him in more sun or cut these drooping leaves and repropagate them. I just have such a hard time propagating snake plants. My success rate is like 1 in 10. I also might just take one of my extra snake plants and kind of just... Next, let me introduce you to all of the plant pots I have either been accumulating or have been sitting vacant since the summer, and I want to upcycle them. I want to paint them sort of so they all fit a theme too. So they all kind of look like they're from one collection and not a bunch of like here and there from Marshalls. And some of them are also damaged. Also, I need to add drainage holes to probably like half of them. I have these really pretty pots from Umbra that need drainage holes. I've had them for like 2 years and they go into a really nice tiered plant stand, but because they don't have drainage holes, the plants in them always die. So I want to fix those, keep them the same. I have this really funny planter pot from Ollie's that is just like kind of weird and interesting. It needs a drainage hole and to be cleaned. This little honey pot has a drainage hole. It's just this like red color. It is a hand-me-down, so painting it, I'm not really attached to it or anything, so I'm going to clean it up and paint it. Next, I have some of these other plant stands. I want to paint this one and this one so they match. Okay, so my neighbor picked me up this Rust-Oleum Hunter Green. So Hunter Green is the darkest green that Rust-Oleum makes. So we'll try this out today. This is the high performance 15-minute dry enamel. I want to paint everything the same color green so it kind of looks like it's from a set or a collection, and also maybe kind of looks like a toy, like a pop art kind of moment, like people who decorate with cause figures. Or I'm completely wrong and this is gonna look really silly. Can't wait. So this pot cleaned up pretty nicely once I got that like twine off of it and cleaned it. It's actually this really nice like apple red, but I've had it in my backyard for like 2 years just because the red, it's gorgeous. It just doesn't really go with my aesthetic. I think because the pot has this like lip to it, so painting it I think will make it fit my theme in my house better, whatever that may be, even though it is nice. I don't think it was like handmade or anything like that though. It's like probably from Home Depot. But I am not gonna feel bad about painting this. So drilling holes in your planter pot. As many times as I buy a really cute planter pot that doesn't have drainage in it, I'm always like, oh, it's okay. I'll take special care of this plant. I'll make sure nothing bad happens. I just think this planter pot is so cute. Every time that plant dies. So I wanted to buy a drill bit anyway, so I could have this on hand. The drill bit I got is the Milwaukee Tile and Natural Stone bit in 1/2 inch. And this says it does granite, stone, tile, and glass. So basically all of the materials that your most common planter pots would be made of. So grab a bit just like this. Now this for me was around $20, so a little bit of an investment. I could see not wanting to spend $20 on this, and then you would also need the drill. However, if I can find one cheaper, I'll link it down below, but I'll link this one just in case. It has made these planter pots so much more valuable to me because the plants now can live inside of them and I can water the plants from inside of the planter pot, no problem. So the 1/2 inch drill bit made a hole about this big, which I think is kind of the perfect size.
So try and go straight up and down and then put pressure on it. Like, do you hear it?
Yeah.
Chip?
Oh, okay.
Because you have to break through the glaze.
Okay.
And then just straight. You can, step up to about there. And then
Now, because I'm worried about water getting into the glaze of these pots, which didn't originally have holes, I'm just going to hit them really quick with a clear coat spray paint. Just like that. And I'll show you why. If you see this vase here, might not show on camera, but you can kind of see the crackling. All of this happens when water gets under the glaze because the inside of this pot was never sealed. So after time, water got into the glaze. I have since sealed this, so this one is good, but I worried that my Umbra pots would do the same. So I've prepped these to be sprayed too. You can see inside where some of the glaze was also chipped off, so it'll just help. Now that I have all of my green planters painted, we can start the process of repotting my plants and putting them in these. Our first DIY is going to be adding little feet to this one. So in order to make this a planter pot, you know, with a little bit of height, I'm just going to add these little legs. So I already had these from a previous DIY, but you can get these at Home Depot for like a couple bucks. I am just going to follow the grooves on the bottom of here and just make little holes. Once you have all your holes drilled, you can fit them in place. And what's really nice about these is they make attachments, but you can just get a nut and screw it on the other side. Put this here, and then with a nut and washer, just secure it on the other side. You can also use glue. So this is how it turned out. It's a little goofy, so I'm going to stain it with the same stain that I stained my bed and my dresser with. So I'm gonna start with this absolute unit of a suck. This thing is huge, and it has little rooties going on too, so I'm pretty excited. So originally this was just a little similar to this little succulent from Home Depot that has grown exponentially. So I thought I would just add a little bit of stuff going on over here in the corner. So I have these 3 little succulent guys. These are like from Lowe's, and they're like $2 each. So I'm just going to fill up the rest of this area. I'd also love to just put some dirt over these roots that are coming off of this succulent here. He is growing. He loves to grow. So one of these succulents is for my little Animal Crossing house as well. So I just want to be conscious of that. Okay, let's save this one. Oh, this little guy looks like a little leaf must have fell off, and it's growing. It's really growing. That's so cool. Let me make sure this little survivor gets a little chance here. Wow, that's really neat. Now the succulent in here isn't all alone, and there's more dirt, so these like strings and stuff coming off of the succulent, I guess it's really trying to like continue to grow. Now there's a little more dirt in here for him as well. And we rescued his little baby right there. Very cool. Next, I'm pretty excited about this, is my little Animal Crossing planter. So I ordered this off of Etsy and painted it myself to look like my house in Animal Crossing. And I drilled a hole in the bottom because I've been hesitant to use this because I thought I would kill whatever plant goes in it. That's pretty cute. So it did come with a little fake plant on the Etsy listing, so I'm not entirely sure if I was supposed to put a real plant in it, but I will monitor this and see. I don't see any issue. So let's get into the big boys. This is a type of snake plant, and this usually lives in my office. I'm thinking of styling it or letting it live downstairs from now on. It is loving my office though. It has grown a few babies, a couple of babies. Okay, that already looks a lot better. Now I'm going to use a combination of sphagnum peat moss and indoor potting mix just for the rest of my plants, and I kind of just do a little 50-50 of that. This is a plant that you don't want to overwater. Ooh, look at those roots. You can really see that the babies are growing. Wow. Oh my God, that's incredible. You can really see how this plant has really big plans of growing up and being big and strong. Wow, that is so cool. I'm glad I'm repotting it. Now you'll have lots of room, buddy. Sphagnum peat moss. How nice is that? And now we know, from looking at her naked, that this plant is about to get so much bigger and better. Good job, I love you. Wow. Next, I have 2 snake plants and I am pretty excited. I am hoping that they grow big and strong. So I'm, thinking, let's put them in big pots. So I have this snake plant that is doing really well. It had a baby this summer right here. Great news, love it, happy mother. Now I have my little honey pot that I painted green. I am noticing now that we painted it that it has 2 cracks in it. They don't seem that bad. I guess in theory, I know how to repair it, but I don't know. So I want to grow him in here. Gonna take a little bit of a risk. This is my only snake plant outside of its nursery pot, but with the baby and the great growth this summer, I'm thinking, let's let him spread his wings a little bit. So I'm really just filling this whole thing with dirt. I'm gonna go heavy with the peat moss here because it is a snake plant. They don't like to be overwatered. Let's take a look. Wow. This is root city. Look at all those roots. This is somebody who wants to grow. Look at that. That was that hard piece we felt through the container. Wow, wow, wow. Here's a little, is this a 4-leaf clover? Yeah, I think so. I think. Just get rid of that. I hope that's a weed. This is gonna weigh 100 pounds when I water it. Okay, time for a little break because my camera is flashing red. I'm gonna save you, buddy. Hey, jump on this. I just killed all my plants. Just killed a bunch of my plants. Trying to save this possum. But I was also being stupid because I was trying to lean this piece of plywood up so he could climb down. It's shaking. Here is my current living room, and I'm having a scoliosis day. Whee! So don't mind the fit. Today we are decorating the space. It has been a really weird day where my back hurts and I just nuked like half of my plants trying to rescue a possum, but the show goes on. I'm pretty excited about the living room, and let's do it. shower plant, shower plant, shower plant, shower plant, shower plant. My back hurts.